Today we're going to be talking about solving multi-step inequality problems. That's going to be chapter 3, section 4. Again, you're going to treat these like you would if you were solving an equation. Just remember, if you divide or multiply by a negative number, you must flip the inequality. So for instance, you have 9 plus 4x greater than 21. The first thing you're going to want to do is get rid of this 9, okay? You want to do the opposite of that 9 by subtracting it. So subtract 9 from both sides. Okay, when you do that, you just bring down your 4x greater than, and then 21 minus 9, which is 12. That is the addition property. Sometimes you'll hear it referred to as the additive inverse property. Okay? From there, you're going to divide both sides by 4 to get x by itself. All right, so when you divide both sides by 4, it's just x greater than 3, which is the division property. And then, of course, you would graph it. And then x is 3. Open circle because this is an open inequality. And because the variable is on the left, we draw in the direction that the inequality is pointing. The next problem is 3 times the quantity of x plus 1 minus 4x greater than or equal to negative 5. Always, 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 if you have parentheses, you must get rid of those first by distributing. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. 3x plus 3. Bring down your minus 4, your inequality sign, and your negative 5 because you haven't done anything with those yet. This, of course, is the distributive property. From there, you're going to combine like terms. I have a 3x and a negative 4x together make negative 1. These two have to be combined. Before you can move anything, bring down your positive 3 right here and your inequality sign of negative 5. Again, that's combining like terms. From here, you notice we have a plus 3, so we want to undo it by subtracting 3. So 3 minus 3 takes that away. 5, negative 5 minus negative 3 make a negative 8. Okay, bring down your negative 1x and your inequality sign. The last thing you need to do on this problem is divide by a negative 1. When you divide by a negative 1, that means that you're going to have to flip your inequality sign, and negative 8 divided by negative 1 becomes a positive 8. So your answer should be x less than or equal to 8. When you graph, you put 8 on the positive end, color it in because it's including 8 with the line underneath the inequality, and draw it in the direction that the inequality is pointing because x is on the left. All right, on the next page, we have another problem, 6n minus 1 greater than 3n plus 8. Because we're doing inequalities and graphing, I really suggest that you start putting your variables on the left-hand side, and you will have less problems when it comes time to graphing them. So I'm going to move the 3n to the other side by subtracting because 3n right now is positive. So subtract 3n, subtract 3n, you're going to get 3n minus 1 greater than 8. These cancel. You're going to add 1 to both sides to undo this negative 1. So adding negative 1 and 1 makes 0. 8 plus 1 is 9. Bring down your 3n. 3n is greater than 9. Divide by 3 both sides. And you will get n is greater than 3. And of course, graphing. 3 is on the positive end. Greater than means it's an open circle, and because the inequality is pointing towards the 3, that's the way to go. Okay? Just as before, if you get rid of all your variables, check to see if your statement is true or false. In the next problem, we have 2a plus 5 is greater than or equal to 2a plus 5. If you'll notice, it's the same thing on both sides. So if you subtracted 2a, you'll get rid of all your variables. It's not 0A, it's just gone. It's 0. So if you had 0 and 0, you end up with 5 greater than or equal to 5, because these cancel. So is 5 greater than or equal to 5? Yes. So that means the answer is all real numbers. Every number will work. In the next problem, we have 2a minus 5 is greater than 2a plus 8. Well, again, if you subtract 2a from both sides, the a's completely go away and you have 0. So 0 minus 5, is that greater than 8? Negative 5 greater than 8. No, that is not true. So there is no solution for these kind of problems. So if the numbers do not match up, and it's a false statement, it's no solution. But if it's a true statement, it's all answers. It's all real. Right, so the next page, we're going to talk just a little about compound inequalities because it's something you're going to be seeing in other math classes in the future. And I think it would be great for you to have a little bit of exposure now. You won't be tested on compound inequalities. You won't have anything that homework for this stuff, but it's just nice to be exposed to it right now. Compound inequalities are two inequalities that are joined by the word and or. Okay? So what you want to do is write your inequality, represent the phrase all real numbers that are less than or less than 0 or greater than or equal to 5. So the first part, you just break it into little pieces. All real numbers that are less than 0. That's t less than 0. Greater than or equal to 5. That's t is greater than or equal to 5. So now you have two little inequalities you're going to graph on the same line. Okay, so you start at t is less than 0. Put an open circle on 0, and you draw your arrow that direction because your inequality is pointing towards t and t is on the left. Then you graph t is greater than or equal to 5. Well, you put a circle on 5 and color it in because this one is or equal to. And because t is on the left, we draw in the direction of the inequality. Now what you'll see is when you have an or statement, you will have a graph where it goes in opposite directions. It never intersects. Okay? And that's like kind of like a logic statement that you'll do in geometry where you can go, say it's raining and you have a choice of going to the movies or to a ball game. Okay? You're not going to do both. You're going to do one or the other to make that statement true. Okay, so that's what an or statement does. The answers are either this way or this way, but they don't intersect. The next one is all real numbers that are greater than -2 and less than 6. So we break that apart. N is greater than -2 and n is less than 6. All right, so when you graph that, you start at -2 and put a circle. And it's drawn towards your right because n is in the left side. You draw with the way the inequality is going. It's going to go on and on and on forever towards right. But look at what I also have. I have n is less than 6. So I have a circle at 6 and colored in. And now it's less than. Okay, so what really happens is you're going to have this end going this way. You're going to have this end going this way. For an and statement to be true, both things have to happen. For instance, I am going to the prom and homecoming. In order for that to be true, you have to do both. So that is why and statements intersect. The answer to this one is the intersection of those two. So numbers between -2 and 6 are your answers. All right, so now what you're going to want to do is change the page, take another slide, and you'll see that you have 5 homework problems. These problems are your assignment. These are the ones that you're going to be doing and turning in and checking for homework the next day, and then we will review practice problems in class. So good luck with these, and I I hope to see you soon. Bye.